Hey everyone, this is Ann with CAnsave.com, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my reseller story, how I came to be an eBay seller, the journey I've been on the past decade to get to this place. I mentioned this in one of my 12 Days of Christmas vlogs, and some of you said, yeah, that'd be kind of a good idea to go through that. This is a story that I briefly tell in my eBay books, in the introduction to my eBay books. I currently have 9 eBay books of how to make money on eBay. And I have 3 bundles, so I've bundled the books into bundles so you can save a bit more money on the bundles. But anyway, the link to those books is below if you're interested in checking those out. So this, if you've read any of those books, you may have heard an abbreviated version of this story, but I'm going to tell you the whole story in this video. So it's story time. So if you're interested in learning how I became an eBay seller, stay tuned because this video is for you. So back in 2004, I was in my 7th year at an office job, and I was miserable. I was burned out. It was a small nonprofit, so you work at nonprofit. You don't make much money. You work hard because the staff is small. I had been through 6 bosses, 9 offices, some doozy coworkers. And I just had it. I could do the job with my eyes closed and my hands tied behind my back. This wasn't a job where you could really advance because it was a small office. So I was just really stuck where I was. And during the 7 years that I worked there, I really realized that I hated working for someone else. I hate having to do what someone else wants me to do when I feel like I could do it a better way or a different way. I don't like working in groups. I like to do my own work by myself the way I want to do it. Some people do really well working for other people, taking direction, working in projects. They love the social aspect of being in a job. I did not. I was burned. I'd go home every night and I'd cry. I just wanted out so bad. I didn't want to go to another job. I didn't want like another office job someplace. So I thought, well, what can I do? Well, my dream had always been to have a gift shop, open up a standalone store and sell gifts, kind of like a Hallmark type store, but my own. And I could have done that. I had the money to do that, but I got talked out of that by most everybody because they're like, those things are so risky. Those kind of stores are usually operated by women with rich husbands, and it's like a pet project. So I got talked out of that, which I'm glad about, because it is true. Those stores usually don't make money and they are kind of like a hobby thing. But I thought, well, what can I do to have a business and maybe do a business from home? I'm a homebody. I love to be home. So that led me, and I can't remember exactly how I got there, but I was doing research and I came upon having a home-based gift basket business. And I thought, well, this is perfect. I can work from home. It's a gift business. I can still kind of do the gift thing, but do it from home, do these gift baskets. And I ended up pursuing that so that by the end of 2004, I was able to resign from my job, which I ran through the office screaming, take this job and shove it. I was so happy to get out of there. And then first of the year, I started my gift basket business. And I mainly did gourmet food baskets. I had themed baskets, new baby, chocolate baskets, get well. I had a whole range of themed baskets that I did. And the first, months were pretty good. I had a lot of connections from when I did work my office job, a lot of business connections. So I had business clients. Things that I didn't like immediately that I realized I didn't like were people wanted to customize the baskets. Like I had the baskets set. They were designed, they were priced. People would want to customize them, change things around, have me do something else, something that I didn't do. That was frustrating for me because I'm like, look, I have this. Why don't you just buy this instead of trying to change everything? Or if you want to change it so much, make your own damn basket. That was frustrating. Also, companies wanting me to give them huge discounts. I wasn't making, a huge profit anyway, and then they would want discounts. Companies and organizations calling for donations. I mean, that was like constant. Companies would call, oh, I don't want to buy anything. We just want you to give us something as a donation for a golf outing or our, gala we're having. And those were the things that really were like, ugh, I didn't realize I was going to be dealing with that. I thought I'd just make these baskets. People would buy them. That'd be it. But I kept going on. And then summer came and business really slowed down because it was summer. There weren't any holidays. You know, people were on vacations. And I had some excess inventory. I had sold some excess inventory through a gift basket like group that was online, and you could post stuff that you had for sale. So I had done that before, but I had some other things. I thought maybe I should try eBay to move this stuff. I had had one experience with eBay prior to this, the year before, or the fall before, when my dad and I were going to Hawaii, and I'd gone on eBay and they had those entertainment books. And I'd never bought on eBay before. I didn't know anything about PayPal. I didn't know what I was doing. I got in there and I bought a book, but I inadvertently bought 2 books from the same person. And I messaged her, and I said, oh, I only meant to buy 1 book. Can I cancel that? And they sent me back this message threatening me. I'm going to report you to eBay. You're going to get in big trouble. You're going to get your account suspended, and they're going to take your money if you don't give me my money right now. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I was like, fine, here, take the money. And I got the 2 books, and I took one to Hawaii and left it in the room for the housekeeping staff. But anyway, long story short, I had not had a good experience with eBay. I was like, I'm never selling on eBay again. Frozen cherry Pepsi sip. Okay. So I was like, I'm never selling eBay again. But I had all this stuff. I was like, well, I should try it. So I tried a few listings, put them up at 99-cent auction. This was back in the day when you could do that. And things got bid up. They sold. I made money on them. I was like, oh, that's okay. That went well. We did that. So I thought, well, let me clear some stuff around the house. I lived in a townhome. You could only have garage sale one time a year, and that time had passed. So I was going to have to wait till the next year. And, you know, I had my work clothes. I had old books, DVDs, CDs, you know, stuff that you just have that you're like, well, maybe I'll put it at a garage sale. But I was like, well, maybe I'll just sell it stuff on eBay, clear it out. And that stuff sold really well. So when I had done that, I was like, okay, this is pretty easy. Things sell really well. What else can I do? So I was looking at some of my gift basket suppliers, and many of them also sold standalone gifts. Specifically, the one company I went through sold a lot of ceramics. They had teapots and cookie jars and all kinds of things. They had plush. But one thing they had on clearance were Garfield Christmas ornaments. And if you've seen my holiday house tours, my Christmas house tours, I've shown those ornaments before. 2 little versions, just Garfield resin Christmas ornaments, and they were on clearance. So I was like, I'll just order some. Try it. It probably won't do anything. So I get these ornaments and I like unbox them and I put them in groups. Because I thought, who's going to want one ornament? You're going to want like a whole tree. And I grouped them. I started them at 99-cent auction and the bidding went insane. People were bidding them up. Now this was back in the day where you could start all your auctions on eBay at 99 cents and then, you know, people would bid things till the end and you'd like sit there at the end and refresh and see the bidding go up and up. And those ornaments sold out so fast. I ordered more. Sold out so fast. This company had a whole range of Garfield items, including, you've probably seen my mug here. I have a cookie jar in my kitchen. So I started ordering this stuff. That stuff sold like crazy, mostly to Australia. It was very strange. The Australians loved the Garfield. There were teapots, cookie jars, the mugs, ceramic flower planters. Gosh, what else was there? Flower picks, those ornaments. They had a whole range of Garfield ceramics, and I couldn't keep it in stock, and it sold like crazy. And so I slowly started adding in other products. They had other lines, ranges, themes, and I would slowly, you know, I'd place more Garfield, then I'd try something else, and I'd add that in, and things just sold so well. And it just was so easy because I had the stock photos, I had the measurements, the material, everything from the company. I would order the stuff, it would come to my house, I would copy the stuff that they gave me, put it on eBay, done. So by the end of the year, I was like, why am I killing myself, breaking my back, making gift baskets and running all over town when I could just sit at home and sell this stuff? So by the end of the year, 1 year of gift basket business, I'm like, I'm done with the gift baskets. We're doing eBay. I'm doing this new gift items. When I had started my gift basket business, I called it Annabella's Gift Baskets because I thought Annabella's sounded more elegant than Anne. So I changed it from Annabella's. My name is not Annabella, by the way, so people still get that confused. I just thought it sounded fancy. I changed from Annabella's Gift Shop, or to Annabella's Gift Baskets to Annabella's Gift Shop, selling standalone gifts. And that was great. So that was about 2 or 3 years that I was only on eBay. Now you have to remember back in this time, there was eBay and there was Amazon, and that was it. Amazon sold books and eBay sold everything else. none of the other retailers had website, even like Target, Walmart, they didn't even have, they may have had like a website that just said what they were, but they didn't sell online. And most retailers didn't even have a website at all. So Amazon and eBay were it. eBay was number one, Amazon was number two. And Amazon made a very public declaration that they were going after eBay. Amazon wanted to be number one, and they were going to take on eBay directly. And one of the ways they were going to do this is they were going to open up the site to third-party sellers. Now, maybe they had done this before, I'm not sure, but they were like really going out and promoting it to bring other products onto the site, not just books, CDs, whatever they were selling back then, which that was probably about it. So they actually reached out to me, Amazon, and said, hey, we see you sell on eBay, you sell this stuff, we kind of think that stuff would be great on Amazon, why don't you give us a try? And I remember they gave me 3 months, I think, of a pro merchant account, which is called professional seller now, same thing, the $39.99 a month deal. I got 3 months of that free. I still had to pay the fees and whatnot, but to try it out. And I was like, well, I guess I could try it. You know, I'm happy with eBay. I don't know what Amazon could do. So I started listing a few things over on Amazon. I had a rep I worked with too, just somebody I could go to for questions and whatnot. I remember that. But I started, you know, listing a few things on Amazon. And within an hour of that stuff going live, I was having sales. And like that, my sales jumped, and 9 out of 10 things that I was selling were selling on Amazon, 10% on eBay. So immediately, literally overnight, I became an Amazon seller because sales were fast, they were easy, you didn't have all the questions from customers, you didn't have complaints. People would go on Amazon, they'd see it they wanted, they'd buy it. You didn't have the haggling that people want. Can't you give me better shipping? No, you never dealt with customers over there. So quickly I became, okay, now I'm an Amazon seller. Yeah, I sell on eBay, but that's just over there. It's like, whatever. I would double list. I would list things on eBay and Amazon, but they would almost always sell on Amazon. Another sip. So this was great. My sales were up. Things were easy. And that continued for 3 years. Now, after 3 years, again, I'd been making good money, selling all this stuff. Year 4 came. And year 4 was when the rest of the world caught up. All the major retailers were coming out with their own e-commerce websites. So there was competition from that. However, what really killed me in year 4 was that more people came to sell on Amazon. So I had competition there. And the manufacturers and wholesalers that I purchased from, they started selling on Amazon. And they started using Amazon FBA, which I don't know how long Amazon FBA is around, but I remember during that 4th year is when they kind of started promoting it, or else it was invented then. I don't know. But anyway, my wholesalers were using that. So they could already beat me on price and shipping because there's no middleman for them. They had the product, they could send it. So I couldn't compete. I couldn't compete with them directly on price, on shipping. I had to order things from them, pay shipping to them. If I was going to use FBA, I would have to then, you know, pay to have my items sent there. As it was, as a merchant fulfilled, I was charging shipping. They were giving free shipping. I was dead in the water. As quickly as it came, it was gone. And that 4th year, I hung on. I was like, hanging on, maybe things will turn around, as things just kept going down and down and down. Now, during this entire time that I had been selling online, eBay, Amazon, I had always done a little bit of picking, going out to a thrift store, flea market, garage sale, and I would find things here and there, clearance too, at stores, and I would buy a little bit and resell it. And I also knew that people sold on eBay kind of like antique dealers. I knew that people did this, but it didn't connect in my brain that I could do that and just do that. It wasn't until I found YouTube and I started looking for videos for people who sold on eBay, or I'm not even sure how it came about. I don't know if I searched for it or it popped up. Anyway, but I found a community here on YouTube called the Picking Militia. I think there were about 20 people in it. The first 2 people that I met were Heather Paper Castle and Brent O Unit Productions. They were the first 2 people that I connected with online because I'd watch their videos and I'd comment. and then, you know, kind of develop a rapport, and then I'd make my own video. And it was from them that the light bulb clicked in me, that I realized, hey, people really are making money selling secondhand stuff. I knew it, I'd seen it, but it wasn't until I like really connected with somebody else, I thought, hey, these people, they're just like me, they're real people, and they're really doing this. So if they can do it, maybe I can do it. And this is a way I can save my business, because at this point, Amazon's dying for me. eBay, in comparison, is just so slow. And I'm thinking, what the heck am I going to do? This is all falling away. At the time, I didn't write books. I didn't have a blog. I didn't have anything. It was all selling online. What am I going to do? And this seemed like the answer. I could try this. I still had the gift stuff because I was hanging on. I should have let go that last year, but I was hanging on. And so I started connecting and watching people's videos and getting the courage to go out and find things that maybe I could resell. So I'd start going to a garage sale here, went to a first estate sale. And in those initial sales, everything I bought was a dud. I'd come home and I'd try and it wouldn't work, and I was frustrated. I was like, I don't know, can this sell? I'm so used to getting the pictures and the measurements and everything from my suppliers. Now I've got to do all this work. I was like, which is probably why to this day, excuse me, I am a little like lazy with the listing, because I still remember the days when they would send me the photos and the measurements. I didn't have to do anything. Oh, so easy. And now I had to do all this work. But eventually, very, very slowly, I would go to a sale and I would get some things that sold. And then my duds became less and less, and the wins became more and more. And I learned and I grew, and I would communicate with the community online. This was a group of people. Everyone was already selling online. So it wasn't like, how do I sell on eBay or how do I ship something? It was like, oh my gosh, you sell on eBay? Me too! Because you just never meet people who sell on eBay in your real life most of the time. So it was just a support group. Like things are, you're having a problem. Somebody wasn't there to solve it. They're just there to encourage you, Or if you did a haul video and you had something, somebody would give you advice. Hey, this would sell better if you did that. And it was just a support network. So you didn't feel so alone as you're trying this. Because the fact of the matter is, and it's still to this day, when you're selling the secondhand vintage stuff, very rarely are you going to watch videos of people selling that and then go out and find the same things. Like I mentioned, Heather and Brent. In all the years that I've been on here and seen the things that they buy to resell, I have myself found very, very, very few of those same items, because they're vintage, they're one of a kind, or not one of a kind, but they aren't common items that you find. It wasn't about copying what other people were buying. It was just about learning about vintage and collectible and secondhand, different categories, marks, things to look for, styles. It was an overall building of knowledge, not just, okay, so-and-so did a haul video, so I'm going to go out and I'm only going to look for the things that they sold. Very rarely do I ever find things that they have sold. Again, it's just the broader knowledge. So those first year, as I'm getting out of Amazon and I'm getting into eBay, I was learning, I was growing, so that by the time that 4th year was over, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep paying $40 a month to Amazon, and I'm not getting anywhere. I have to get out. And fortunately, I then had eBay to go to. I already knew how to sell there, and now I had kind of built up this knowledge where I could sell secondhand. Again, by no means an expert, always learning to this day, still learning, still bring home duds all the time. But I had a better footing so that I could keep going with eBay. And that is where it leads me now. Now today, occasionally I will find something through a wholesaler. Like I had some new stock that I showed you guys. But that stuff is so slow to sell. You have to invest a lot of money in it, compared to going to an estate sale and or a fill-a-bag sale and getting tons of stuff for basically 25 cents each and being able to flip it for 10, 20 bucks on eBay. Even in all the years that I made money on Amazon, my net profit after fees, after what I paid for everything, after all of that, my net profit on eBay is so much higher than it ever was, even my best year on Amazon. And that's why I've always been, well, I haven't, to do the whole retail arbitrage thing, which I kind of did back in the day. I would go and I would do clearance and whatnot for eBay and for Amazon. And it was okay. But again, I had to spend so much more going to a store and buying stuff that was on clearance. You know, spending $5, $10 to make 10 or 20 compared to going to an estate sale and buying something for 25 cents and flipping it for 20. The profit margins on eBay are so much better. And that is why when I see people today doing FBA, ordering wholesale, whatnot, I'm like, I've been there. I have been there. I know when you're saying, I made $10,000 this week, or I'm having a 6-figure year. That's gross. That is your gross. You're not telling people your net after what you paid, your expenses, your fees, all that stuff. I know, I've been there. I know how it was to be like, oh my gosh, I made this amount of money. Well, no, I had to buy all this stuff. There were all these fees, blah, blah, blah. This is what I really made. And I'm thinking, geez, for all that I sold, that's what I made? Compared to eBay, which when the net profit comes out, it's much higher. So that is why I will never do retail arbitrage. You guys know that I just recently sent in some stuff to FBA. It was that new stock that I had gotten like 2 years ago. Kind of just as a test to try FBA and see it. But I'm not going to be going to stores and scanning stuff. I'm not going to be specifically buying things for Amazon. You know, I went and I had gotten some CDs and some cell phone cases. I couldn't sell them on Amazon. Fortunately, I still have eBay. My focus will always be, number one, will this sell on eBay? If it doesn't sell on eBay, maybe it'll sell on Amazon. If it doesn't sell on Amazon, it can go to the consignment store. And if it doesn't go any of those places, it's going to Goodwill and I'm moving on. So that is, I think, my reseller story. From gift baskets to eBay to Amazon to back to eBay. And eBay, out of all these years, all the lessons, all the way things I've sold, ways I've tried to sell, at the end of the day, eBay is by far the best money. You get the most profit margin and the fees are less, and the platform, the restrictions, the problems, even though you get customer issues and whatnot, are much less than they are on Amazon with all of their restrictions and rules, and they're always changing everything. Their fees are insane over there compared to eBay. eBay is always where I'm going to go to make the most money. It's a pain. I will admit it. I'm lazy. I don't like to photograph stuff, measure, get down to the listing. I don't really like to do that stuff. But at the end of the day, I know if I want to make money, it's going to be on eBay and Amazon. If I go to estate sales now and maybe I pick up some books, a lot of times the books will be free on the second day, or VHS tapes will be like 25 cents. I can get that stuff, bring it home, throw it over to FBA. No big deal. It can just kind of be a little extra. But my focus is always going to be on eBay. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my whole reseller story. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked it, thumbs up. Again, the link to my eBay books on Amazon is below, as well as my eBay video playlist here on YouTube. I have, what did I see the other day? It's over 120 videos now on making money on eBay that I have here on YouTube. So I'll link that video below as well. So let me know what you think. Do you sell on eBay? Do you sell on Amazon? Have you flipped from one to the other? Yeah, be careful with your doing Amazon. That's my only warning to you. I've kind of had the Amazon rug pulled out for me twice now. Once when I was doing the gift thing, and then the competition came along. I know, you know, the race to the bottom. Now everybody's selling the same thing. You just drive the price down and nobody makes money. And then with my Kindle books, you know, I was doing really well with Kindle books, and then they introduced Kindle Unlimited, and the scamlet phase started, and everybody throwing up a bunch of crap and making money, and that income went down. It's doing a little better these days, I should say. I've changed some things around. I pulled books out from being borrowed. So some of them, most of them, the e-Wavy ones, and I've raised prices. So it's doing a bit better. And I think once these people who had been kind of, you know, outsourcing books and working the system, once they get out of it, because they are getting out of it because their income has fallen, then maybe things will get better. So I still have hope for that. But putting all your eggs in one basket, especially the Amazon basket, is tough. Amazon's about being number one And even though they don't make, I think what was the story the other day, that Amazon's profits really aren't great. They are just trying to be number one. They want to be number one. They want to get the most sales. They want to sell the most stuff, have the most customers, even at the expense of them actually making a huge profit. And if you were putting so much money into buying product to send to Amazon, and then other people are doing the same, and everybody's lowering their prices, it's not a good long-term strategy. I have learned so much from, first of all, working in that office job that I hated. I learned a lot. It hated it, but I learned a lot about business during those years, and that's, you know, I kind of suffered to learn that, but I learned a lot about business, and that's helped me all these years to this day in running my own businesses. And then spending a lot of money on products to resell for maybe double or triple your money, as opposed to eBay, where you can, you know, again, buy something for $1, sell it for 20. Profit margins are so much better. So just be careful about spending money, going into debt to sell on Amazon. I used to do that too, because I had to order stuff, use credit cards. I had a lot. It was a cash flow. Order a lot of product, sell a lot of product, pay off the product that I ordered, and then reorder again. It was just this cycle of spending money, make money, pay off that money, spend more money. It wasn't a get-ahead strategy. Whereas eBay, learning about vintage items, antiques, collectibles, that's knowledge that you have forever. And I know every time I make a sale of an item, I'm like, okay, this is an item to store in my memory bank of something that I can make money on. And I don't think you can do that as much with Amazon, because the competition drove me out once. Be careful of it driving you out. So anyway, that's my warning. Not that I don't like Amazon. I'm not dissing Amazon, because I still make money there. But just be careful. Be careful. Don't go into debt to make money. That makes sense? That's my lesson and my warning, folks. Okay, that's enough rambling. This video's got 30 minutes long now. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for sticking with me and hearing my reseller story. Bye.